How's it going, my brethren from another methrin? I'm not streaming today, but I still want to give you something. A little thing for you to stare at and watch, if you're into that. So I'm not doing the Necropolis today. Day one. No, sir, not for me. I'm more into watching other people do it and watching them suffer and laughing at them, like you guys are gonna do when I do my whole Necropolis thing. Needless to say, I've already jumped into it here. I have been testing out the Necropolis. I may not be going deep into it, but you can't stop me from touching it up a little bit. And I was just playing around, just trying to find out what characters work for me, what paths I'm gonna maybe try to do. They're scary. They're scary. And this is scary. I'm gonna take a special 3 here on purpose. And there's a reason behind that. And really, let me explain. There's 2 things that you need for this recipe for success. First of all, you need a Wong. My guy. A beautiful man. If you don't have him, I'm so sorry. Rough stuff. So I was just playing around. This is one of the first fights on one of the paths. It's against Odin, and Wong can solo it. I'll be real, I did not solo it on my first try. In fact, I did 0 damage to him on like my first 5 tries because I could not for the life of me figure out what you're supposed to do. And the way the fight is supposed to work is Odin does not take any damage at all unless he has 6 buffs on himself. And the way you're supposed to let him get buffs is every time he throws a heavy attack, you go indestructible and unstoppable, so he'll just... Well, you both do. So you don't take any damage, and you're supposed to let yourself get hit by his heavy attack so that the energize that he gets from his heavy attack gets put onto himself, and then he'll get more than 6 buffs. But then he's going to have a lot of energize, which means you're going to be building up his power really fast, which means he's going to be throwing a lot of special attacks. It's miserable, because beyond that, on this entire path, there's a trap node, an extra node, where every time a special attack is thrown, it what does it do? Oh, you get reverse controlled for like 6 seconds after that. So because of that, I found a little workaround. So step 1 of the recipe is Wong. The second step of the recipe is Heimdall, and that is my that's my sauce. That's what I did. It took like maybe it wasn't even 10 tries. It was like maybe 5 tries to line it up with Wong. I got a solo with it, and then I was like, wait a minute, am I goated at video game? And so I decided I should probably record it. So I did it again. This is first try. What you're watching right here, this is my first try soloing after already soloing. And this is the first solo that I've done in Abyss, and in an Necropolis. And I've tried Kate Bishop. I've tried using Kate Bishop. I think she's gonna work. She just takes so much skill, dude. And I'm working up to it. And Wong, as you will see, I'm not even playing him to the best of his abilities, but he's toasting, dude. He makes it easy. And I don't know, yesterday I sat down and I started going into the Labyrinth of Legends because I was thinking about Necropolis today. So, and I took Wong into there to try to learn how he was supposed to work, because people were saying that he's good for end game content, for big long fights, and I didn't know how he worked. And now I have a much better understanding. I wouldn't say I'm like the best Wong player of all time. I'll leave that up to you. If you want to bestow that upon me, I'll take it, dude. Wong is awesome. But the basic idea here is you want to build up the buffs that he has, and you get those buffs by throwing special ones. I'm talking about the buffs on Wong, the passive buffs. They all do separate things. The blue one gives like extra energy damage, or just energy damage, I think, on attacks. The green one I actually really like, and you'll see right now. Look, I took some damage. Watch what happens when I want to get this. I want to get that health back. Oh dear. Oh my. Look at that. 97% health. That's what the green buffs are doing, because when you deal energy damage, a certain percentage, I don't know how much off the top of my head, but a certain percentage of the energy damage that you deal is regenerated back into you. Weird, right? I don't know. That's how... Yep, it works for me. It works for me because I make so many mistakes, and Wong is like a living, walking potion, and I love that. The yellow buff, I don't. It gives you block proficiency, which I don't really think is like super necessary. I don't know. I like the blue and the green ones. I'm still working my way into feeling out the yellow one, but you do want to get all of the possible buffs that you can. You can max them all out at 3. You get them by throwing the special 1, and you refresh them by throwing your special 2. So getting Wong ramped up initially is actually kind of tricky sometimes, because at the beginning of the fight here, I started with 1 buff, and I just ran out of it. Because I didn't throw a special 2 in time, and that can happen. And if I don't get a special 2 off in time here, and these buffs expire, they're all gone. I gotta do the ramp up from the beginning all over again, which would suck. So you want to be throwing special 2s whenever things get low. The nice thing about Wong is when you throw a heavy attack, he gains power based on the charges that he has that are building up, and those charges build up faster the more buffs that Wong has on himself. So it's this whole like looping. It's a beautiful concoction of character design, and who better to have it than Wong, right? So I mean, I've got this guy almost down to 50% health. I don't know. I didn't see how long my ramp up took, like what percentage he was at before I got fully ramped up. But now that I have all 3 buffs on already set up, those charges build up super fast. So I can just basically constantly spam heavies, and when I do throw a heavy, I go unstoppable, and if I throw the special 2 while I'm unstoppable, it goes unblockable, so I can work that into things as well. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. I'm watching it back right now. It's making me happy. It's giving me feel goods on the inside of my body. Yeah, so I don't know if I need to say anything else. Maybe I'll just let you watch the rest of this fight and get my face out of here. I know how much you like staring at my face, but maybe I've been distracting you from this fight and saying nothing of importance. If you want to attempt this is a rank 1 7-star Wong. I'm actually severely tempted to take him up to rank 2 just because he's so awesome. But again, I have tried him in other fights, and it really depends. Like, oh, dude, there's more for me to talk about. Oh, okay. So the way that Necropolis works is there's a timer on Odin that you can see that's counting down by the second, depending on challenge or rating. So I started with 200 count, and every time a special attack is thrown, that timer is paused while the special attack is happening. So the great thing about Wong is because you're just constantly spamming all of these specials, that timer gets paused for a really long time. And then if you weave in your relic with that, you get 6 charges, I think, which gives you 6 extra seconds on the timer. So that makes it, it's so nice. It's really nice. Yeah, again, you can see me just cycling here, constantly throwing special 2s. That's where the damage really is in those special 2s. And if I ever take damage, I just heal it back. At some point here, I decided to just block one of his special attacks just to kind of show. I think this is also part of the green buff that Wong has. He regenerates off of energy damage. It's going to be sometime within the next 26% of Odin's life that I just let myself get hit. Or maybe it's already happened. I don't think it has. I did it later on in the fight. But yeah, the hard part is having to weave in the special 1s to build up the buffs, and then also having to throw the special 2s so that the buffs don't drop off. That's the really hard part. But once you have all of the buffs ready and ramped up, you just spam those special 2s endlessly. And, I mean, it's just, it just works. And you can take damage, you just heal it back. This is the way I like it. This is how I like my MCOC. It's with a lot of healing and a lot of repeating the same thing over and over and over. That's what I was born to do. Is repeatedly swipe my phone screen. This is my destiny. Alright, dude, at some point, I swear I'm gonna block a special. I promise. Let's just sit back and watch. Just relax. Okay, that's what I was talking about. You see how the health went like bloop, blip? Yep, that's also a part of Wong's shtick. It has to be energy damage though, so that's not gonna work against everybody. But it works for Odin. I don't know if I'm actually gonna be using Wong for Necropolis, but there we go. That's the solo right there. That's how she blows. I imagine that he's probably staring at a picture of himself inside of this book here, with the way he's just looking at it. So intrigued. Final stats. How do we look? 430 hits, 10 minutes. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. And I think I'm gonna pull up. This was my first solo stats, so a little bit longer. You can see I shaved off some time and a few hits between these two solos. They happened one right after the other, and yeah, that's about it. So, best of luck to you. I just wanted to inspire you with the beauty of the man named Wong. Have a great day.